What's going on, my Padawans? Trying out a different camera tonight, um, and it's actually pretty stupid on why I didn't use this in the first place. But just real quick before I start, what my topic is going to be about in this video. If you see the lighting isn't the greatest, and here I am actually in my bedroom, and I have like a little orange lamp next to my bed, actually right there. So the lighting may not be the best. And if I turn the light on, it's just going to be too bright. Um, so, what I wanted to talk about today um, is the fact of um, Joey Porter getting arrested and my thoughts on the whole situation and how the Steelers are handling it. Um, I've always liked Joey Porter as a player. Um, on the football field, but when it comes to anything off the field, whether it be um, him as a person off the field or him coaching, um, I've never really been a fan, and I could have seen this coming. There was actually a an article that was posted on Facebook that really brought shed some light onto this fact. There was an article saying that if the Steelers needed an outside linebacker coach or a linebacker coach in general, Kevin Green would be willing to do it, which I think is absolutely genius. He is one of the best outside linebackers the Pittsburgh Steelers ever had, one of the greatest outside linebackers that this game has ever seen. Um, he's a Hall of Fame outside linebacker. He played for the Panthers, he played for the Rams, and he played for the Steelers. So you bring a guy like him in. Not only will that skyrocket Bud Dupree's performance, um, but he has the experience he from playing the game for so long. Um, he has the experience as a head coach, not a head coach, as a position coach. So he knows what he's doing. He has experience in that field. But then that also, whether it's directly or indirectly, comes back to the NFL draft. And I think, and I've talked about it, this year is going to be critical in the NFL draft. And there are so many great players that could go in the first round. The Steelers have either got to go outside linebacker first round or corner first round. Whoever is the best player available, I'm on the border. So if you see me doing mock drafts in which I keep going back and forth between three different positions, safety, corner, and outside linebacker, that's why. The only safety I would have us taking probably would be Jabrill Peppers in the first. Um, but that's just because of value if he falls to us. Um, but you bring in a guy like Kevin Green, and when it comes to the NFL draft, he knows what to look for. I mean, he's brought in Clay Matthews to Green Bay, and really, while he didn't have a great season this year, really helped that defense by drafting him. Um, and so you bring in a guy like him, and he may add that spark to the NFL draft that we need, whether it be to trade up for a player or to see the best value of an outside linebacker at the pick that we're going to be at, which is most likely going to be in the 28 to 32 range, depending on how far we go in the playoffs. And I've talked to Renegade 412 a lot about this. Um, I personally have been going back and forth outside linebacker wise between Charles Harris and Carl Lawson. I've had Carl Lawson for forever. Um, but seeing him play throughout the course of the season, there's a lot of things that I didn't like about him. I think he's purely going to be a hand in the dirt defensive lineman type of player. You bring him into maybe Oakland, and Khalil Mack and Carl Lawson in Oakland would be nasty. But the Steelers need to find the other half. They need to find the other half, somebody who can pair up with Bud Dupree and really create that Bash Brother type mentality and bring back that physicality to this Pittsburgh defense. Mike Mitchell's been doing an okay job, but Mike Mitchell just goes for the kill shot and doesn't wrap up. He's not a good tackler. He's mediocre at best when it comes to coverage. He is not going to be the future at the free safety spot. And that's why I also think if Jabrill Peppers falls to us, I think it's a no-brainer. You can have him come in and play a little defense, but mostly punt and kick returns, and really develop him at the safety position so that when Mike Mitchell leaves, because they're not going to resign him, then you have Jabrill Peppers to come right in and be able to take over in that free safety spot. My concern with him is his coverage ability, and if he can get that down, I think we'll be okay. So I personally would love to bring in a guy like Kevin Green and get rid of Joey Porter. He's just been nothing but a liability ever since he played for Pittsburgh. So that's my thoughts on this whole situation. I know I kind of sidetracked, but I also did want to bring up one small last point. It's only going to take me a minute. There's a difference in the draft between realistic picks, dream picks, and picks where you have to reach. I think Burns was a reach this year. I think he's played well, but I still think there was better players at that time that you could have picked. Jalen Smith, even though he didn't play this year. Miles Jack is another one that just comes to mind. But regardless, so my realistic picks would be Desmond King, Charles Harris, Solomon Thomas, Dory Jackson. My picks on reaching for a player would be like Ryan Anderson, Takaris McKinley. I'm not a fan of him. DeMarcus Walker, I'm not a fan of him. Wayne Gallman would be a huge reach. But guys, if they fell to us, Jabrill Peppers, Corey Davis, even though neither of them are probably going to fall to us. So Jabrill Peppers, Corey Davis, Jamal Adams, Malik Hooker, like all these top 10, 15, 20 prospects. If for some reason they fall to us, that would be perfect. But in my mock drafts, there's a difference between realistic picks, in which a lot of my picks are, and reaches or dream picks. So when you see my mock drafts, keep in mind I am going off of what is most realistic. So with that being said, I know this was kind of a miscellaneous video, not a whole big structure, but I might be coming out tomorrow with a pretty cool topic. I just got to see what I'm doing tomorrow. I've been running around as of late. I've been pretty busy going to the gym, getting back to Bird Sport Performance. Shout out to him. Brandon Bird. He's one of the best personal trainers you can ever find where I'm from. In the eastern parts of Pennsylvania, he trained Nick Sharga, who's a fullback and inside linebacker for Temple Owls. He's going to be training Jahad Thomas. He's going to be training a lot of good players on the East Coast. So shout out to you, and shout out to the Renegades of Pittsburgh. I know I haven't done that a lot in my videos, but I do want to show you guys my love. So shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Bruin Steel over in China. Shout outs to you, buddy. Shout out to Renegade 412. Shout out to Steel Twins. I don't know if I said them already. Rob and Dan. Shout outs to you guys. Shout outs to Matt, City of Champions 95. Shout out to Erica Steele. Shout out to Lady Steele. Shout out to um, Austin Harrell, which I think is Steel Empire 99 now. So if I'm missing any of you guys, Steel Logic. I can't think if there's any others. If I'm missing you guys, I am sorry. Just know that you're counted within those guys, and I apologize if I missed anybody. But with that being said, may the steel be with you.